I've got to try, it's not over yet.
All right, I'm here at the Sound Academy with the lovely Sharon from Within Temptation. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
So I want to start by talking about the Netherlands a little bit, because the Netherlands seems to have a lock on symphonic, hard rock, and heavy metal. Yourself, Epica, After Forever. In North America, we talk about regional scenes, we talk about cities and things like that. Why does the Netherlands have like a monopoly on this style? Like, how did it seem strange that one country produced all the main bands of this style? You know what I mean?
I think a few bands have started making this kind of music, and it inspired a lot of young other people and they followed up quite quickly after that. And instead of copycatting, they really made their own kind of a twist to everything we did. And so I think it became more of an interesting scene because everybody really had a different flavor, but still was a little bit more similar to each other. So I think that was the reason why we really got inspired by the English bands, actually, like Paradise Lost, because they were coming from the death metal scene. They were the first ones actually using an opera singer for one song. They never made it more than one song, unfortunately, but it opened our eyes, like, okay, cool, they mix melody with heavy grunting stuff and death metal kind of like these heavy guitars and stuff, and that with our love for other kinds of music, like folk music, like for instance we like Dead Can Dance a lot, and and so we combined a lot of things that we liked, and when you take it out of a melting pot, that became Within Temptation, more or less. So it's like we really got inspired by that, and I think a lot of bands in the scene that started in the Netherlands as well, all got also that kind of flavor and also kind of bands that they liked. So I think we all got inspired by the same thing, more or less.
So it's really interesting that you say that, because I mean you guys started pretty well underground heavy metal, even extreme metal at sometimes. And I had a conversation with Simone Simmons from Epica once, and she said that they had to make a decision at one point with her band whether to go more obscure or go more catchy. And I think that you guys definitely went the more catchy route, and it's proven really successful. But still, this music is considered on a worldwide scale to be really, really underground. Why is it so catchy and so poppy, but yet so obscure at the same time?
I think because it still has a lot of they still have the metal guitars, although these are songs that have good melodies, but still when you have the really heavy sound, it won't get on the radio. So it will always be in this underground kind of atmosphere, I think, mostly. And especially in Europe, it's more difficult because when you have radio, for instance, and there's one guitar in, you're out. They're not gonna play it. And we were fortunate they played some songs of us on the radio, but it's not very easy for most bands, and for us still also very difficult while we have these heavy guitars, of course. And in Europe, in America, it's different again because they don't like female vocalists, so it's gonna be on the radio. If you're making rock music or metal music, it should be a man or somehow, I don't know. Evanescence was apparently one of the few that really broke that rule and got on the radio, but I think it's very difficult for European bands having the sound that we have with this orchestral sound also. They do like the guitars that we have, but they don't like the orchestral part because it's weird. It's not a typical kind of American thing to do or a Canadian thing to do, but it's I think, but still a lot of people like it and they find their way to our shows anyway, and that's because of the internet and probably word to mouth. So it's I'm not complaining. I'm really happy actually, because we have been having a sold out show so far, and it's been a really good tour for us so far.
Don't blink, you'll miss it. Lift up your head. We gotta get cold. Yeah, we gotta hit. Don't blink, you'll miss it. Lift up your head. Too late, we cold. Yeah, we gotta hit.
For me, the major turning point with your band was around The Heart of Everything, because you had that album and it spawned 2 live albums, and that seemed to me like a really long touring cycle as well. Like, what happened around that time that sort of brought everything to the next level? Because what was special about that album at the time?
Well, actually, we felt like we've been searching for a certain sound throughout the years, and I think we completed it on The Heart of Everything. And after that, we really had like, where do we go from here? We finalized the sound we wanted to have for all those years. Finally, we found it, and we were a bit blocked, I think. And then we said that the only way is like to throw all the boundaries away that you feel that you should be moving within. And that opened actually so many other doors, and we grew from that actually. And I think it made us better songwriters in the end, and it became way easier. We never wrote so easily those last 2 albums as we did. So and it's been more fun also.
There's no sense, the fire burns when wisdom fails. It changes all the wheel and bodies all that keeps on turning.
It's really amazing, interesting to hear you say that, because the last 2 albums, like Heart of Everything, to me was really amazing because how catchy it was, and also, like you said, how heavy it was, how chuggy it was. These 2 albums, I wanted to, because I feel that they're more poppy than Heart of Everything, in a way I wanted to step back, but at the same time, you've managed to maintain that heavy formula while being even more catchy than before. That's what you're trying to do?
No, we're not trying to be catchy. What comes out, it comes out naturally. It's something that just happened, and I think there was no other way for us than to do it this way. And with the Unforgiven, we were really inspired by a lot of bands we grew up with, like Metallica, Iron Maiden, and that was the heavy part of it, and that we could put that in our music. And at the same time, I grew also up with a lot of more catchy bands like Bruce Springsteen, but also Queen, but very good bands. And I think putting that in a melting pot, you get the heavy parts of the metal bands that we loved so much, but also the catchy things that we grew up with in the melody lines. And I think that's the biggest part is coming from me, because that's, I don't know, I just want to, it comes out naturally. It's not something I think of up front, like it should be. Like I just let go and just feel what I feel and then just sing it, and this is what comes out. And I can't register it, I can't direct it how I want to. I wish I could, because then I could write anything, of course. But it doesn't go on the recipe, unfortunately.
And what is the attitude right now to Within Temptation at home? Do you walk around and do you reckon? Because I look at the last concert DVD with the full orchestra and the costumes, and I feel like you must be stopped on the street all the time. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, we're bringing out now a new DVD. Did you know that? Yeah, the Element show is finally going to be released. And, well, in Holland people do recognize you, but they also like, you're from that band, right? Yeah. Can I have an autograph? And then they just walk on. It's like nothing happened. Nobody's like, like it's a big secret. I have an autograph.
Like, oh my God, it's Within Temptation.
We had that sometimes, but it's not extremely. No, not like that. People are really down to earth. Like, you're singing, right? Okay, how cool. But can I have an autograph? Yeah, okay. And then they just go on again, but doing what they do.
I remember before that DVD that you made, you were a bit under the weather. Singing operatic, symphonic music, there, you are taxing your voice, and then going on the road, a guy who sings gutturals, if his throat's mashed up, he can get in tune still. How often is that a problem for you? Is it tough to keep yourself healthy on the road?
Yeah, it is, especially in these countries. Like coming to countries where they have a lot of air conditioning, because because we don't have that in Europe. It's like we don't never use it actually. And so when you're coming outside of a hotel, it's like in the hotel there's air conditioning going on. Then you go outside, it's really hot, and that's the thing that really is the most difficult thing for us here, to keep my voice in tune in that way. And I'm a bit hoarse, as you can hear. But this is a 4th show in a row, which is also very heavy if you have many shows in one row. But tomorrow I have a day off, so I'm really looking forward to that, and then I can give it a bit more rest. But the thing is, how do we stay healthy? It's healthy food, it's working out, it's actually really boring, not very rock and roll. But it's going to bed early sometimes, and of course you need to have your nights out as well, and really let yourself go, otherwise it's going to be very boring. So you have to find a real nice, tight balance between things, and it's just been working out still very good for us.
Every word you're saying is a lie. Run away, my dear. But
You guys obviously have the visual aspect really wrapped up in the band, and you're very involved in fashion. How important is that to the band compared to everything else? How important is that to the live presentation? And are you still involved with picking out your outfits as much as you used to?
Yes. Well, the thing is, for us, music is like 80% of everything, maybe 90%. But we also love bands like when we were growing up with Iron Maiden, and we played with them a few times now, also supporting them. And they have this humongous show, and it's so beautiful because it takes you even more into the vibe, what they're telling, the stories they're telling, and it becomes such a something that plays in your mind as well. You get to a next level, and I think that's what we're trying to do with our music as well. Music is the most important thing, but we like to add something extra than just a normal random show. So it's like it gives something extra to look at and to talk about, and to get in a certain kind of vibe.
Last question: that given that your success at home and how well the last 3 albums have done, internationally, do you ever get frustrated coming to North America and doing clubs and sort of having to build that back up again when you sort of in Europe you can headline giant festivals?
Well, no, I don't find it frustrating. I find it actually quite cool to play smaller clubs. It's more intimate somehow, and really rock the stage. It's way more energetic, this show, than the shows that we have in Europe, actually, because of the fact the stages are a little bit smaller, and you really have to work around each other. And I think that's something, sometimes it's a really nice contrast with the shows that we have in Holland and the rest of Europe. So, but the other thing is that, we rely very much on the word of mouth of people, that people like the show and they talk about it, and you guys coming around. So that's really helpful. Yeah. So.
Sharon, thank you so much for speaking to me today. Wish you the best of luck on promoting Hydra and the tour. And do you have any final words?
Final words. Well, I hope everybody who wants to see us got to see us, and otherwise tell your friends, and be there next time. Thank you very much for having us here.
The shot in the dark,